Hello, everyone, and welcome to the November Geek Embassy Hangout. I'm your host, Regina McMenemy, and I'm here with a large selection of our Geek ambassadors. We have Isabella, Julie, Mark, and Evan all joining us today. So welcome, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
All chorus of highs, all together.
Hello.
Oh no, didn't work the way.
We need to work that out before we go live.
Oh, I don't know. I thought it would be fun to just be spontaneous, but I guess not.
I think we have to have the amount of talent that it takes to be spontaneous with something like that.
Well, I know we have at least one other singer at Noel too, because we've played a rock band together.
Right, but I'm not that good a singer.
Nope.
That's why we keep it at home.
Right, exactly. Or if we do karaoke, it's with copious amounts of alcohol involved.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so for our November Hangout, we're doing our Geeky Gift Guide. We are giving recommendations based on the consulates associated with the Geek Embassy. So we have story suggestions, lifestyle, pop culture, technology, and gaming, which pretty much covers a lot of geeky interest, at least I hope. Somebody has the Hangout running with their sound in the background. I'm getting an echo. So if anybody has a YouTube link open, could you just check and see? No? Am I the only one who hears the echo?
I'm hearing
it. Could be coming from inside your head.
Well, I'm gonna try muting my mic and see if it fixes it.
Okay. Hello. Yeah, it does.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
And is it back?
I don't think so. No, now it's gone.
Here.
Okay,
Right.
Good. Okay, well, that fixed that. Yeah, I don't know. The technical difficulties I've had in the last 36 hours of recording. I don't understand any of them or how any of them got fixed. Gremlins, yes. We'll go
Google
with
is
that.
becoming self-aware and belligerent.
I'm going to be in trouble. All right, so many of you probably noticed that Rhonda is not here with us today, but she has forwarded on. I know, that's
Why, Rhonda?
She is already visiting her family for the holiday, so she wasn't able to get away for our hangout. As always, Rhonda, we miss you terribly. But I have her list, so I have her suggestions. So we'll also be sharing her suggestions as we go through our gift guide. All right, so I think our consensus was to start with story, and I'm going to throw it to Isabella to begin. So what do you have for story?
Oh, you didn't tell me I was going first. Okay, for story, I have tickets to a play. My friends took me to see the Oregon Trail at the Portland Center Stage Armory last night, and it was excellent, and that's not something that I do very often.
So explain this to me, because I saw your pictures from it. So it's a play or a musical based on the Oregon Trail game?
So it's kind of, it uses the Oregon Trail as kind of like a framing device for a story throughout this girl's life and like the difficulties of it. So it's a bit surreal.
Okay.
So it's two narratives. It's her playing the game and then what's actually happening in the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So kind of like a cross narratives, I guess?
Yes. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And I can't say any more than that without spoiling it.
Somebody dies of dysentery, I bet.
Well, yeah, that does happen. It's guaranteed.
But not in the game, even in real life.
That'd be an achievement for sure. Managed to catch dysentery.
Right. Yeah, achievement unlocked, dysentery. Cool. Well, that sounds really innovative.
Yes. Yes, it was really cool, and I liked how they used like technology on the stage during the play.
And how long does it run for? I had no idea it was a thing.
Well, actually, that specific play today is the last day that it's showing, at least here.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been to other plays at the Armory, and I really like them.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. What about Julie? What do you have for story?
For story, well, so I tried to share this book that I loved from high school, but that shows how old I am because it's no longer in print.
I shouldn't laugh so hard because because I just shouldn't laugh so hard, but I can't help myself.
But when I discovered that, I thought it was still kind of cool because I don't know the history of this writer, but to my knowledge, he's only written a couple of books, and they were both sci-fi books. And so the book is called Emergence, and it's by a writer he's passed away now, but his name is David Palmer. And I think it's actually David R. Palmer. Yes, R. Palmer. And it is from the perspective of like an adolescent girl. And it basically is about like a post-apocalyptic setting. But there was, unknowing to her, this kind of almost like super race of humans. And she's one of them and didn't know it. She actually happened to go down into like a bomb shelter when it all happened, and came out. And it's kind of her trek across the U.S., trying to find other people and kind of what to do from there. And even though it's from the perspective of an 11-year-old girl, it's very much a book that men would like too. It's not a girly book. And so
And you read it in high school?
I read it in high school.
Okay.
And I still own it. And it's one of those that I've read a few times over the last 20 years. And the book, what really, when I wasn't going to bring it up once I realized it wasn't in print, but you can still get it, from like half.com.
Right, or like used booksellers
used
and
books
stuff.
on Amazon, yeah.
Yeah.
And because he's only written a couple of books, and I just really think it's such a good book, that I think it's really kind of cool to celebrate this guy who's passed, and he's like, one of those people who's just written a couple of books in his life, and we're still, to have somebody 20 years later, bring it up and kind of reintroduce it to people who may not know about it. I just think that's really cool. I think that he would be touched and honored,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's interesting because the selections for in high school, for reading in high school, are usually pretty specific, or at least they used to be. So it's interesting to think about you had that as a selection in high school because it meant they went sort of out of a set curriculum to present it, especially for science fiction, because I don't think I remember any science fiction from high school.
Well, it wasn't a book that we had that the whole class read. It was actually for my freshman English class, and the librarian had brought in this card of books, and that she recommended, like, had okayed for us to read.
Right.
For it wasn't a book report, it was like a book report test we ended up taking on it. But
that's cool. Well, it's cool that you got to choose.
Yeah. And so I got to choose it. And he actually did write a sequel to this, but it's only in like a short story. And it was written in a science, and I actually bought it and I haven't read it, but it's a science fiction like magazine series. And so, but anyway, I just thought it was kind of cool. And when I was doing this, it kind of reminded, one of the copies that I saw was available was from, from a library, like the library had sold the book. and so, or maybe somebody never returned it to a library and it ended up to this used bookseller or something,
Or they sell books. They give they have book sales sometimes to support the library and stuff. So yeah.
So that made me think, that's also kind of another really great, almost free gift that you could give to somebody, is if someone, who loves books but maybe doesn't have their own library card, or the libraries are so innovative now. They have where they borrow books from other libraries and you can have them delivered to your door, and it's not like it used to be where you had to go to the card rack and try and find a book. So
there's no card rack anymore. And you don't even have to have a human being check out your books. Like I was so this was not that long ago. I was so confused. I went to the library and I went to check out books, and I walked up to the librarian and I'm like, "Can you check these out for me?" And she just looked at me like, "Yeah." I'm like, did I ask something wrong? And I didn't even notice that there were like 6 stations set up with these automatic reader things that you just put the books down and you push a button and it checks them all out.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I missed that there was a self-check at the library.
That's cool.
It is cool. It is. It's very, very easy. And she was just like, "Why are you asking me this?" And it's because I just didn't know that, there was an option.
Yeah. But I was just thinking that would also be, a cool gift, is you could take the time to kind of research the library system for somebody if you're in the same one. You could pull up the website and you can even have them go online and find books they would want to check out. And then usually for a library card, you have to go to the library itself. Or if you want to just use like ebooks, you can do that online for the library.
I think you can check real books out. There's an app for at least our local library that I know is bigger than that. It's called Overdrive, which I think you can use to check out books.
You could check what's out online, but as far as a library card, you have to go in person and do it with your ID and stuff. So you could set up a date, where you would drive them to the library, and then they can have, go out for coffee or something. And that could be a free, fun gift, for somebody who likes books to take them to the library and make sure that it's just a gift that keeps on giving. So it came to mind when I was looking for this book.
Awesome. I like it. Cool. All right, Mark, what do you have for a story? As you mentioned in the pre-Hangout chat, you want an only book.
It's pretty much my favorite book of probably the last few years. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it at least 2 or 3 times on the show already at some point or another. But The Martian by Andy Weir. It's by far probably the best book I've read in a decade at least. So, and I just read it again the other day. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's probably one of the only books you really need in your library.
In your library.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I still haven't read it.
Are you kidding me?
I'm going to be in such trouble.
Isabella,
I know of other books you have to read too.
I read it. Yeah.
Isabella, make her read it.
I'm pretty sure I can lend it to you from my Kindle.
Oh, that would be great.
Or go over and read it to her or something. I don't know.
I highly recommend the audiobook for that as well.
I was just going to say, I thought the audiobook recording was done by somebody famous, but I can't remember who it was.
I don't know who it was
either, but I remember it was good.
Yeah.
The audiobook is just as good as the actual book. So
cool. All right. Well, I've been playing around with getting an Audible subscription, so I think this might be the second recommendation in the last 36 hours.
Overdrive also has audiobooks.
What was that?
Oh, Overdrive, the library ebook checkout, they also do audiobooks.
Yeah, I started listening to Ready Player One on my Overdrive account, and I had to wait, I think, 4 months to check it out. Because it was in such demand. I was on the wait list forever, and then I didn't finish it in time, so I ended up buying it anyway because I was like, what? Oh, it's gone. So I had to know what happened. So
I still haven't read that one myself, but I have a reason for that. I'm not reading that until Ryan reads The Martian.
Oh, okay. So we've got a whole deal thing going on here.
Oh, he's like, you really need to read this book. You really need to read this book. And I'm like, have you read The Martian yet? No, well, you really need to read that one. When you read that one, I'll read the other one.
Well, we have a viewer who is engaging in our chat. So thanks for joining us for our hangout today. And he said he has not read The Martian, and he hasn't seen the movie because there is a movie out with it too. So
which is also very good.
It is also very good. Not as good as the book, as they rarely are, but it is still very good.
Yeah,
it's very true to the book, though. Like it felt pretty much as close to it as it could get.
Yeah, without tacking on another 2 or 3 hours onto the running time of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as many planting potatoes.
There's quite a bit of potato farming.
That's usually a deal breaker for me in a game. So like when I have to do too much gathering. So
I was really sad that in the movie, I don't think he ever said it, but when he came up with his own unit of measurement called pirate ninjas.
Oh, yeah.
when that came up in the book the other day, I was just like, oh yes, the pirate ninjas. I don't think that was in the movie. That would have been great.
Talk about a good catchphrase. All right, Evan, what have you got?
Well, there's this one book that's good for anyone who happens to be a mother who also likes to play video games. It's called Mothering the Game. And it's about a mother who plays video games. And her name is Regina McMenemy. And she's pretty darn good at least writing about being a mother and playing video games. I don't know how good she is at playing video games and being a mother, but I assume about as good. So there's that to read. But I also have to give a shout out to my absolute favorite book series currently being written, which is the Dresden Files, which I am obsessed with to an unwholesome degree. And it's like 14 or 15 books long at this point, and I've read through it like 3 times. And
wow,
like back to back.
Wow.
It's so good. It's got the perfect balance of everything in it. Like, it's a urban fantasy story, and it has action, it has comedy, it has drama, it has suspense, and it has them all in exactly the right balance. So like you never get bored of one thing or another thing, and it all is done well. So I can't recommend that enough.
Oh, cool. I like series. Obviously I like series because I like to get really sort of engaged with my characters and be able to continue to return to them. So something with that much, although I have no time to read right now, but
yeah.
sometime in my life that will return.
The world building that he does is just incredible. Like, he makes this entire fantasy universe just fit into our own universe flawlessly in a way that you wouldn't even question it. It's great.
That's a lot of skill. That takes a lot of skill, because often read something and be like, well, that's not reasonable.
Do you recommend getting into the first book, or is there somewhere else that you can start?
You want to start at the first book. The first book is called Stormfront, and it's good because like each individual book is well enough contained on its own that they do kind of stand out. So you could technically read pretty much any of them out of order if you wanted to, but there's also an overall story arc for the entire series that you'll miss out on if you do it out of order. I made the mistake of reading them partially out of order the first time I read them, and like they're all so good, you might as well start at the beginning and just work your way through, because that way you get all of the characters in this series, which spans like 10 years or something. They all grow. So every single one of them is at a different place at the beginning from where they are by where he's left off right now. And I really need him to come out with another book. He hasn't come out with a book in like 2 years. But it's like you can see them just grow and mature as characters, and that's like half the fun of it for me.
I've read 5 or 6 of those myself. I do recommend them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Don't watch the sci-fi TV show.
No.
It is so campy.
And it doesn't have anything to do with the books at
No,
all. It's
it
like
doesn't
got
have any of the
some
same
of the
thing.
names. That's
just
it.
sad. I hate when they deviate that far. Like,
It's tragic.
I can understand when you can't do word for word adaptation but you can still stay within, you know, the spirit of the original. But if you just go completely off, it's
that whole thing screams of just like development interference from higher ups.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff like that. Just no, don't try and change what's not broken.
All right, so I have a recommendation for Story, which is a novel that I also think lots and lots of people will enjoy reading. And we were talking before we went live about the thrill of the unknown, and that's definitely big in Tantalus Depths, which is by our very own Evan Graham, and has received and reached full publishing funding on Inkshares. So congratulations to Evan. I don't think we've actually congratulated you on the monumental feat of pre-selling over 750 books. So
it wasn't easy.
No, I can't imagine that it was. But you can still pre-order Tantalus Steps on Inkshares, so make sure you check that out. Rhonda has a suggestion for Story, which is a graphic novel called Paper Girls, Volume 1. She has a link up for here, but the basic description she gave of Paper Girls is the Paper Girls were breaking more than the glass ceiling when they took on paper routes in 1988. Paper Girls takes you on a time-traveling escapade with 4 12-year-old girls to save the world. So I can't speak to it because I haven't read it, but I know Isabella has at least the first.
I have the first volume over there, right by my bed, waiting for me.
waiting for a time for you to read it.
Right after this when I plan to start reading it. So
nice. So it's like right on your next list. Was it a recommendation from Rhonda to check it out?
Yeah, Rhonda actually recommended it to me personally because she knew that I read the other stuff that I like reading. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was reading it while we were at Geek Girl Con. I remember seeing it as one of the books that she had. So definitely check that out. I liked the artwork, what I've seen in the artwork of it too. All right, let's see. The next consulate we're going to discuss, let's look at lifestyle. And I won't pick on you guys, who wants to jump in with their lifestyle recommendation?
I'll do it because mine's easy.
Okay.
A cooling pillow. I love cooling pillows. Ryan let me use one at his place last year when I came out to visit, and again this year when I was out visiting, and I dig them.
Yeah.
So I think everybody should have a cooling pillow, unless you're a wimp and can't stand the cold. So.
Does it actually like cool you down? Like.
It's got. Let me pull up the
scientific, backing of it.
I don't really think it's. Well, it might be scientific. Who knows? Who knows? I'm looking right now. Basically, they've got like a gel surface that's on one side of the pillow, and that stays cooler longer than just like a regular,
a regular pillow would.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just dig them.
Yeah.
They're usually well, I shouldn't say usually, but typically I've seen them contoured. It's a contour.
Right. Yeah, like for neck support.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just dig them. That's all I can say about them. If you like finding the cool spot in the sheets and on the pillow, go with that. Give that a shot.
It seems like it'd be really nice in the summer, especially.
It is.
Well, they actually have cooling mattresses now too, or mattress toppers, where you can get that, like, have that same kind of gel technology in them to cool off.
Maybe I need to do that too.
You might need to look into that.
Of course, my wife would hate it because she runs about, like, I don't know, at 65, and I run at about 105. So.
Yeah, it would be. That's my only hesitation for any of that is, like, I run naturally cold, so yeah, yay, cooling. No, I want to be warm. All right, Isabella, what do you have for?
I will go. So art is a piece of the lifestyle consulate,
yes.
And I just got this really pretty art book, and that's just the cover. So it looks like this by one of my favorite artists, her name is Lois van Barl. She's a Dutch artist, and she does like digital artwork. But I love this kind of thing, and I think anyone who's into art would love like an art book that you picked out yourself for them, because they're very fun to look at. And this one in particular has like behind the scenes, like progress in different artworks, like different steps along the way.
Oh, that show kind of like the evolution of it, like
the evolution of how it goes. Like, I think, I don't know how well you can see that, but like the different steps that the artist went through to finish a piece. And I think that's really cool as an art nerd.
Yeah, I like that. I like your comment too, a lot like Julie's, comment about like, using the library as a good way to explore story. I think meaningful gifts are really important. So if you knew somebody that liked art and you picked out something that you really appreciated, or an artist that was close to your heart, sharing that with someone can be really cool.
Yeah, and you can find so many suggestions for stuff online. And if they look at that stuff online, it'd be pretty easy to find out what kind of stuff they like.
Yeah, totally. Very cool.
Do some investigating.
Yes. Yeah, see what people like, or what they've, kinds of accounts maybe they followed on Instagram and things like that. Because that's where I like a lot of art stuff. Like a lot of the art stuff and photography I look at is on Instagram. So, yeah, cool. All right, what about you, Evan?
I have this. It's a steel poster of HK-47 from the Knights of the Old Republic games, which I'm always going to have something Star Wars related to share, just because it's how I am. But it's really cool. It's a poster, but it's printed directly on metal, and I got it from this site called Displate, and they have like tons and tons and tons of different designs from like all kinds of. A lot of it's geeky stuff, but some of it's like more mainstream stuff. But there's like just everything. So like. It's all like printed directly on metal, and the only problem I have with this particular one is it won't hang on my wall. I think my wall is too textury, so I need to get a frame for it. But it's cool, and I like it. It looks really cool. Like it looks different from like a poster.
Well, yeah, because I imagine printing on metal is going to affect the way the poster's printed and the way the color comes through, and texture and all that kind of stuff.
And you can hang it like magnetically too.
Fancy. That would be pretty cool. Awesome. Well, Julie is one of our lifestyle ambassadors, so high hopes here, Jules.
Oh, great.
No pressure. See that bus? I just threw you under it.
Well, you'd think I'd probably do something music here, but since lifestyle also includes a little bit of everything, I am crazy nuts for this this cooker I got. It's called, the brand is Aroma Housewares, and I got mine from Costco, but they have them on Amazon and stuff too.
Right.
There's different versions of it, but the one I have is I originally bought it as to be a really kick-butt rice cooker. And it does all these other kind of things that I use it way more than I do for rice. And so it kind of looks like a round stainless steel slow cooker, but it's got a clamp down plastic lid, so it doesn't have anything clear where you see inside or anything. It almost looks like a pressure cooker, but I have used it. It's got a tray that sits at the top where you can do, if you want to steam vegetables, and it does it I think in less than 10 minutes. It makes perfect rice really easily, and the inside of it is a non-stick metal removable, washable pot that's in it. So super easy to keep clean, and it doesn't have the issue where, like with a regular crock pot that's ceramic, where stuff sticks to it.
Right.
And so it's got that. And then also it has what's called a saute and simmer setting, where because it's a metal inside, the bottom of it gets hot enough that you can actually like fry things. So it's perfect for, say, if you're going to make like a chili and you want to fry your burger or sausage or whatever you put into it first. You don't have to fry it on the oven top first. You can saute it right inside the thing itself and just leave it there, and then add all of your other stuff for the chili, and it's super easy. And because it's got this clamp down top with a handle, it's also awesome for taking to like game days where you're bringing chili or a dip or something, or roast beef or whatever it is you're bringing. You know, it's not like a lot of slow cookers that have the lid that can fall off easily and they're super heavy.
Right.
You know, this is all lightweight, made of metal. And so it just makes life so much easier for making things and all kinds of things. And I also recommended if the dorms allow it, it'd be great for a college student to be able to, you know.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, like the versatility, because a lot of slow cookers don't have a lot of capability to do different things. They can pretty much do one thing, which is just you know, throw everything in the pot and let it cook, which is also great. But you know,
it's all digital, programmable. You know, so you can set it timing and stuff. So it's not like just turning in. There's no knobs. It's all buttons.
Cool.
Yeah, I know it sounds kind of strange, but it's so multifunctional. If you try it, you'd end up using it a lot, like I do, I think. So
very cool. Very cool. Okay, so I have Rhonda's suggestion is a nap pillow buddy, which she sent a link to. Target has a line of their kids' pillows, sort of cuddle pillows. And they are super geeky because there's actually a Wonder Woman one.
Oh my God.
There's Wonder Woman, there's Spider-Man, there's Power Rangers, Superman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
There's a Minion one.
There's a Minion one, yes, and that's the one that she read. That I think is her recommendation, that she would like a Minion nap pillow buddy. And so yeah, so there's a whole bunch of sort of geeky characters. So there's even a donut. There's all kinds of different things you can get, and they're all shaped like the characters. Like they're not just a pillow. So like the Minion is shaped like a little Minion pillow. So super cute, and that would be adorable to put underneath. Even if you're getting it for an adult, that would still be fun to put it underneath a Christmas tree, or tree, or some sort of a holiday display of gifts. My recommendation for lifestyle comes from my own personal wish list. Which is for a Think Geek product called the Solar System glasses. Has anybody else seen these?
No.
They're so cool. It's a set of glasses, and they all look like different planets. So you have one that looks like Mars, and one that looks like Earth, and one that looks like Jupiter. Yeah.
I've got something like that, except for it's all not all the planets, but it's the main planets from the Star Wars universe.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh, Hoth and Alderaan, the Death Star.
I like that one.
Tatooine.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Are they like tumbler size?
Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to see. Kind of
rounded?
Yeah, kind of a larger sort of Actually, I think, they're actually, the size of the glasses is based on the size of the planets.
Oh, wow. So Jupiter's about the size of your house, and Earth is about the size of and like Pluto's a little small glass, so I think they're a relative size to the planet themselves. So super geeky, very cool, not and attractive looking. Like that's like, you can get a lot of these things that are kind of not very attractive. They're really pretty. So it's one of those things. I can't remember exactly when I first saw the link for it, but you can pretty much,
And I'm not getting, I should have said this at the start of this episode, but I'll say it now. We're not getting, the Geek Embassy is completely self-funded. This is not an advertisement show. We're not getting money from anybody. We don't have free products. Anything that you see that we have here on this gift recommendation is because we bought it ourselves. And we're not sponsored by anybody here. However, if somebody like Think Geek wanted to sponsor us, we'd definitely sign up for that. So you can always find cool stuff there, though. That was what I was kind of getting at with that comment.
All I'm going to say is if you end up with those glasses, you're never making me a cocktail in the Jupiter glass.
I do have kind of a recommend. Oh God, I can't think of the word. I do have a tendency to make very strong cocktails.
Yes, it's true.
And make sure that people always have cocktails.
Yeah, like everybody eats at my house, and generally everybody drinks at my house. It's kind of a thing. I blame it on my Sicilian ancestors. So.
Right. It's all their fault.
Not my fault. It's my culture. Speaking of culture, let's do some pop culture recommendations.
I'll go.
Okay.
This one is awesome. In fact, you guys can put away the rest of your list. We're pretty done right here.
Because you're just going to throw down the mic with this one. It's all over.
Yeah. This is good for people who like Legos and people who like the original Ghostbusters. It's the Lego Ghostbuster Firehouse. Mm-hmm. I don't personally have this. My wife wants it. Although if she gets it, I'm probably going to help her build it. But it is amazing. It's about 4,600 pieces. It comes with, I think it's like 8 of the minifigures.
Wow.
Looks like it's got the 4 Ghostbusters. It's got Slimer. It's got the Librarian Ghost. I thought it also had the, it has Lewis and Dana as well. And the Firehouse itself, like, literally is a full-on Firehouse, and it actually breaks open.
So you can actually play with the minifigs in the house itself.
Yep.
That's
nice.
super cool.
Yeah, it is not for the faint of heart or the faint of wallet, though, because it is retails for $350. So it's serious. This is serious Legos, people. This is not for dabblers or beginners.
But you said it had something like 4,000 pieces, right?
Yeah, 4,600.
Yeah, that's pretty serious.
That's more than an afternoon of assembly. And if Ryan did a video for us a while back where he did a time lapse of I can't remember exactly what it was he was assembling. It might have been the VW bus. I can't remember, but he did a time lapse and we put it up on the Geek Embassy YouTube channel. And so Ryan, if you get anything like this for Christmas, you better do a video for us.
I have the Millennium Falcon, and it takes me like 7 hours to put it together.
That is, I admire the patience involved that I would never have.
So cathartic.
It is. I love doing it. I have a quick anecdote as to why you should want to do it. When Ryan was still, I think he was probably like around 12 or 13 at the time, he got a Lego castle set for his birthday, and he got it the day he got it, or his birthday. I managed to break the tips of both of my ring fingers on my hand simultaneously at the theater I was working at, and
ow!
Oh yeah, it was miserable.
Oh,
but,
the tips of your fingers, like so much.
Yeah, I ended up helping him put his Lego castle together that night, thinking it would be, excruciating and I wouldn't be able to do it. And I actually forgot all about the fact that my fingers, felt like they had been smashed, on an anvil. So to me, there is really something zen about putting Legos together. It really can kind of put you in a different frame of mind, so that, things like that aren't as bad. But yeah, that Lego Firehouse is probably going to take a fair amount of time. I don't know. I don't remember how many pieces I got a Star Wars Star Destroyer collector set for my birthday one year, and I think it took me like 32 hours to put it together. So
oh, wow.
I don't remember how many pieces it had, but
they're all the same color.
Yes, it was brutal. But I imagine that doing the Firehouse is probably going to be, something like a 24 to 32 hour project. So
yeah, no kidding. With all those pieces, that would be.
Yeah. But I think it'd be a fun set to put together. So
it looks awesome. I mean, it looks like
it looks like the Firehouse.
It looks like a dollhouse, in the detail, especially with the fact that you can open it and you can play on the inside of it. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Awesome. All right, Evan, what do you have for pop culture recommendations?
Oh, shoot.
Wait.
Well, I can also recommend Legos.
Yeah, do it.
Actually, I do have. This is, I think, a quintessential one. It's a Lego Bag End from the Lord of the Rings.
Oh my god!
Oh.
It's technically from the Hobbit movies because it's got like all the dwarves and stuff that go with it. But like it's got the door that opens and you can go inside, and the other side is the inside of the house.
Oh.
And it's got all these little Lego foods, like this little Lego carrot and like this little Lego pretzel for some reason. I don't remember them eating pretzels. But it's really fun. And it's got like all this stuff you'd expect on the inside of like Bill Lowe's house. Like it's got his little book that he writes and like a little quill and ink jar. Like I love Legos just in general. I mostly just collect the Star Wars ones because I cannot allow myself to have more than one that I collect because I will go into bankruptcy and run out of shelf space. But I felt like I had to get this one because it's just got a lot of little details that you don't usually get with other kinds of Lego sets. So I don't even think that you can still find this in stores. You probably have to look on like.
Yeah, I was just wondering that.
something.
Like, if it was associated with a movie, it's probably not something that we can run to. But you might find it on eBay or something like that to take a look. But
They tend to get really expensive though.
Yeah, they do. They can get really, really pricey. James, who's watching, is a big fan. He said, "Me likey."
Yeah.
Sweet Lego setup.
Actually, I read somewhere that like because Legos so reliably increase in value that some like drug dealers and like gun runners and stuff use Legos as currency for their underworld exchanges. It's like their way of laundering money because it always turns a profit. It's like pound for pound, Lego is more valuable than gold.
Why do they gotta ruin it?
That's funny.
One of these days I'll have to take some pictures of my wife's Monster Hunter Lego sets that she's got put together. It's insane.
Nice.
The top of our TV stand in our dining room / gaming room is literally covered in every square inch in Monster Hunter Legos.
Nice.
Plus, she's got the Death Star on a shelf in there, and she's out of control. I love Legos, but she's a Lego maniac.
Well, there are worse things you could be a maniac for.
Right.
All right, Julie, what did you have for pop culture?
I actually had just a cute little thing. I actually got one myself. It is it has a 3D effect looking lamp, and so it's very basic. It's a little round black plastic bottom to it, and then it has popping out of the middle of it. It's just a piece of clear acrylic that has a white etching of something on it, and they have all kinds of things. But of course, the ones I was drawn to were the Star Trek and Star Wars ones, and so and then it has a base multicolor light that shines behind it, so it shines up on it, and so it looks almost like, if you saw it from afar, it looks almost like a hologram, because of the etching on it is a 3D etching. And when you're up close, it doesn't look so much like a hologram, but it still looks really cool. And it has a setting where it has usually about 7 different colors, so you can have it just be one color that's shining up on it, or the last one you can have it where it's a LED and it rotates, flashing through the different colors if you don't want to see just one.
It looks really cool from the pictures. I'm looking at the link right now.
Yeah. The one that I was drawn to was actually the Millennium Falcon and the R2-D2. But I actually ended up with the Starship Enterprise because that one I just thought was so cool looking. I still may get the Millennium Falcon though. But the Starship Enterprise ended up getting, and they have them on Amazon and eBay. And so and they're really inexpensive. They're,
like $20, yeah, $22.
Like $20. Some of them are crazy. Some people try to gouge you and they're like twice the price, but on average, most of them are about $20. And if you get them off eBay, you just, if you're trying to get in time for Christmas, you just got to be careful. A lot of them ship from like China. And so you may not get it for Christmas. So you want to watch out for, the shipping on it. But most of them ship free. And they do have the new Star Wars characters also. And for some of them, and they have other things, that aren't sci-fi, but I just think they're so unique and a really easy, to sit at your desk, and it's a inexpensive gift for sci-fi geeks. So
yeah, that's very cool, and it's unique. I like the idea of something that you wouldn't necessarily see every day. Yeah, very cool. All right, what do you have for us, Isabella?
So I'm keeping in line, I guess, with my tickets to see things.
You mean actually leaving the house? Did we do that?
I'm trying real hard to do that.
Oh, okay.
The tickets to a comedy show. The example I had was tickets to the Bridgetown Comedy Festival in Portland, which I think is every year in May. It's 4 days of all-day comedy shows. A lot of the comics I like do it every year. And I've always wanted to go, but I could never catch it in time. So, yeah.
Cool. That'll be fun. Comedy shows can be
really fun.
Comedy shows can be really fun, especially if you're seeing somebody well known. Even if you're not, if you're seeing somebody who's, at I can't remember where it was. I went a comedy club in Portland. This is fun. Although I was kind of heckling the people who were doing it, but I don't know.
Well, you're a bad person.
I am kind of a heckler. I mean, I wasn't doing it so they could actually hear me. I was just trying to make the people at our table laugh. I think I did pretty good.
Can't take you anywhere.
No, not at all. Not at all in any way. All right, so Rhonda's recommendation for pop culture are Star Trek or Wonder Woman postage stamps that you can get at the post office. They're very cool. And she put a little note here that said she's always collected postage stamps. The artwork is a history of our world and culture. You can buy a standard sheet of stamps relating to anything your recipient loves, like anything, any kind of interest they might have, and mounted in a floating frame so you can actually, gift it in a frame so that they can appreciate the artwork. And that you can get the floating frames from lots of craft stores like AC Moore, Michael's, and Joann's. And that's a really great idea, kind of a unique way of framing something that you would give as a gift. And, again, not terribly expensive. And Rhonda's a big fan. I can't grab it because it's way on my wall, but she's a big fan of floating frames. She sent me an issue of a Wonder Woman from the year and month that I was born for my birthday last year. I showed it on another Hangout, and it came in the same kind of floating frame. And I remember her putting in the note when she sent it to me that to make sure I grabbed it and actually read the comic on the inside of it. My recommendation, this is my favorite recommendation for today's gift guide. I found these on Facebook. They're called My Bookmark. And they are the most unique bookmarks I've ever seen. So essentially they take different characters and different aspects of pop culture and create a bookmark that actually sticks out the bottom of the book and looks like the feet of a given character.
Yeah, my wife has the Wicked Witch.
Yeah, the Wicked Witch one is one of my favorites with the, the black and white striped stockings and the red shoes. But they have a whole bunch of Harry Potter ones. So like from all the houses of Harry Potter, you can get a Slytherin one for anyone who might be Slytherin.
Yay!
Are you a Slytherin?
Yes.
I actually took that quiz the other day, so am I. Go figure.
Not
we may have talked about this. Yeah.
I don't think so. I'm not.
Oh no, me and Regina.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Me and Regina talked about it, and we definitely pegged you as a Slytherin.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
we were sorting hat the entire embassy on our way to Geek Girl Con this year. Where we were trying to find out where everybody kind of fits.
You know what my Patronus was? A Thestral.
A Thestral.
Oh, that's real metal.
Yeah, it's very thematic, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's very fitting. That's very fitting. I have to say.
I think I got like a basset hound or something really cute.
Yeah. Sounds like you, kind of.
I haven't taken that quiz. I couldn't
know
remember
you're
my
Like a
login.
beagle.
A beagle.
Izzy, I know you're evil at heart, but you're too damn cute to have anything less than a beagle or a basset hound for your Patronus.
I know, I wanted something cool.
I know, but sometimes it's just not in the cards.
Be a badger.
Apparently, dragon is one that you can get, which just seems woefully unfair. That like one person can brag about having a dragon, and everybody else is stuck with like a vole
Puppies.
or like a shrew or something like that.
Considering it is a make-believe.
Still not fair.
I'm happy with my Thestral.
Yes, we take our fiction very seriously here at the Geek Embassy. So anyway, they are very cool bookmarks. And James just said he once told a judge she needed to be more Gryffindor and less Slytherin.
And how did that work out for Jane?
I know. I'm really curious. One of the circumstances.
Hopefully not in court.
Unless you were really trying to get out of jury duty, maybe that would do it.
That could. He said it didn't work out well. I imagine it probably didn't. And he said he's a lawyer.
Oh.
Ah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And he was in court. Make me feel like I need to know the rest of the story. Not today, but Jimmy might need to tell me the rest of this. All right, let's move on to the Tech Embassy and see what people have for tech recommendations. Why don't we start with Julie? I think I've started with everybody else so far. I'm trying to keep track. Rhonda's usually the one who keeps the Banty going, so.
Well, mine's, no surprise, a lifestyle tech item, and it's one I actually just got recently for myself. And off Amazon, it's actually just an electric wine opener. Because everybody, I don't know, at some point has misplaced a corkscrew or something, and they're kind of dangerous, especially if you have kids around the house or something. Mm-hmm. So the electric one makes it so much easier, and if you've ever seen one, it's just kind of like about an 11-inch cylinder, and it's just got a button where you can use it to screw and then also to unscrew to be able to get the cork out of it, because as it does, it takes it out of the bottle. It kind of goes up inside the item itself, but and it has a little charging dock, but you don't have to keep it charged all the time, because it'll work for like about 20-30 openings, and then you need to charge it again. So it's not something that has to drain electricity all the time. And it comes with a little foil thing, like for champagne too, that sticks on the dock. But it's the one they come in. You can get as fancy as you want with them, but the one I have was like $13. It's like $12.95 off Amazon. So it's a really inexpensive, kind of handy gift, for us, it's wine and games, of course. So if you got somebody that hosts a lot, maybe, or maybe you have a gift exchange that's under $20 or something, and you could throw a cheap bottle of wine with it also or something. Or if you have a book club, that usually ends up being a wine drinking club. It's perfect for something like that.
I'm sure that happens a lot.
Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things that, hey, that would be kind of handy. You don't think about it till somebody gives it to you. So it's
very cool.
Easy.
It looks so sci-fi.
Yeah, it does look very high-tech, and I suppose does have a good geek factor to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if you had it on your countertop, I could totally see somebody looking at it like, yeah. What is that? Yeah. All right, who wants to go next for technology?
I got nothing. I'm too poor.
Okay. All right, go, Mark.
Mine is the Apogee One USB audio interface. It's basically a digital audio converter for an iPad or iPhone. So you can basically record guitar and bass and vocals onto your iPad or iPhone on GarageBand.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got one earlier this year, and it is awesome. It's got an XLR input for an actual like a studio microphone, and it's got a quarter-inch jack for plugging in your guitar or your bass, and it works great. And it's got a built-in mic in it as well. So if you don't have an actual microphone, you can use the unit itself as a microphone, and it actually has a mount that you can use to put on top of a microphone stand if you like. So it's really a great piece of hardware for somebody who wants to record on the fly pretty quickly. In fact, mine's right over my shoulder here with my iPad.
Right. Yeah, and something that would be portable that you could take with you and record and even edit in whatever kind of location you were.
Yeah, I mean, with that, I could literally take my iPad and that Apogee and my guitar and a set of headphones and basically be able to. I mean, even if I just wanted to practice, it would work because GarageBand has a bunch of amp settings and stuff like that when you plug into it. So. Even if you just want to use it so that you can use your iPad or your iPhone as an amp to practice with, on your guitar or your bass or something like that, it's, I think, a really great piece of hardware.
Cool. Very cool. All right, Isabella, what did you have for tech?
So I had the Polk Swimmer Bluetooth speaker. So it's a waterproof speaker that has this cool little tail on it that you can wrap around things.
Oh.
Like you can use it in the shower or you can use it outside, and it's the little tail can also work as a stand so that you can prop it up. And it's fairly inexpensive, but it has pretty good reviews because a lot of the
sound quality.
Yeah, the higher end Bluetooth speakers usually go for $300, $400. They can get pretty spendy real fast. But yeah, that's a good lower end one if you're like me, you're always listening to something. It's not always practical to have headphones in.
Yeah, it actually shows a picture of it kind of looped over. It looks like the shower, like a shower rod.
Like a shower rod.
Yeah, so you could actually put your music into the shower as you were showering. Which is cool. And it comes in interesting colors. So it's got blue, orange, and green. So such a girl. I always like when there's different colors associated with things like that. All right. So Rhonda's tech suggestion, her note for it is, well, why not? And it's an Explorer's drone camera. A drone with a camera on it. So it's it looks like it's a small drone with a small camera on it that you could fly around and record as you were sort of droning it, I guess. I think drones are kind of hilarious. I think they're fun. I had a friend who had one we were playing with not that long ago, and it was just fun to see how we could terrorize people with it. So that was her recommendation for technology. Yeah, we're seeing a theme emerge for me. I'm not looking very nice this time. For tech,
dragon.
What was that?
I think you're a dragon.
Oh man, if I take the Patronus test and I come back with a dragon, none of you are ever going to live it down. I'll have to do that after the hangout just because.
So, yeah, but somebody's got to be watching you so you don't like back up and keep trying to game it.
Oh, yeah. I cannot trust her.
I don't know why everybody's so suspicious of me. Okay, maybe I do. And Julie doesn't get to tell any stories about that at all. Silence. I know exactly what you're thinking about. Nope. So my recommendation for the tech consulate, I was looking at wearable fitness trackers because I know that they can be very, very trendy. The Fitbit and Windows has a bracelet type deal thing that you can wear now too. But I've always thought they were kind of interesting, but not something I was really very drawn to. But I found one that's actually, it's called the Lumo Lift, and it's a posture coach and activity tracker. So you wear it, instead of wearing a bracelet, you wear it pinned to your lapel, and it buzzes you when you start to slouch. And it's something I've been noticing in myself, like in the last 6 months or so, that I'm getting more likely to hunch over. And I thought that something that would remind me to keep my shoulders back might be really helpful. And so it also like tracks your steps and stuff as well as when you're wearing it, but it helps you sort of program yourself to keep your posture better. Since we don't all have our moms, you know, reminding us constantly to keep our shoulders back or stand up straight. They actually said that in the video that they have on Amazon for it. You can go and you can see, and they're like, oh yeah, our moms aren't always here to remind us. It's a little on the expensive side, it's $80, but it looks like it's pretty kind of cool. It syncs to your phone, has an app to your phone that helps you to track exactly how many minutes you had good posture for and when you kind of slip and fall into slouching or whatnot. So
That's not that expensive for a fitness tracker.
For a fitness tracker, yeah, I realized that after I said it, that those can be the Fitbits can get kind of pricey. Yeah. So that was my suggestion for that, something a little less, a little more off the beaten path. All right, and I saved one of my favorite consulates. Not that I don't love all the consulates for last, but our gaming suggestions. And I'm going to start since I'm the only person who hasn't started. I am absolutely 100% in love with Seven Wonders Duel. And has anybody played it?
No.
Anybody know what it is?
I'm assuming it's an app where you get to play head-to-head against your friends.
It's not an app. It's an actual card game. It is a 2-player Seven Wonders game. Seven Wonders is one of my all-time favorite, like top 5 board games. And they have, in the traditional Seven Wonders set, they have rules to play 2 players. And at the bottom of the instructions, it actually says, we don't recommend that you play this way. So you know that they knew it was flawed. And it is. I played once 2-player on the regular one, and it's awful. Essentially, you have a third hand that you just play blind, where you just hand cards out without any, consideration for what's happening. And it's just a nightmare. So Seven Wonders Duel takes the same mechanics for Seven Wonders and makes it a 2-player game. It is not a friendly game.
Of course not. That's why it's called Duel.
Yes, if you're harboring any resentment or any anger against the person you're playing with, I would suggest not playing this game because pretty much every move you're making is set up to strategically sort of mess with the other person. It does have there are 3 options for winning. You can win with science, you can win with military, or you can win with wonders. We've never made it to Wonders win yet. Military and science always seem to kind of win out. And I'm not sure if that's, I've only played with Chris, so I'm not sure if that's just our playing style.
It's hard to know when you're playing against an android.
It is. Someone who always goes for, min-maxer, the one who just goes for whatever the kill is going to be. So it's a little hard for me to gauge whether or not that is really the way it goes. But I've had some pretty devastating wins with the science, because I tend to go science. He tends to be more likely to go military. But the science is really fun. I really like the way they develop the science for Duel. So I highly recommend. Is it easier
than the regular science? Because I still can't get the hang of that one.
Yes, it's easier than science in the regular Seven Wonders game. It's much more straightforward. You're essentially collecting cards, and there's a pyramid of cards between you and the other player, and you're both playing off the same deck and selecting cards that you have available to you, a limited number of cards at a time. Each card that you take reveals one or two more cards to play off of. So that's part of the strategy, is like, which cards am I going to reveal? What chances am I going to give this other person to play? And if you see them going for science, you can kind of mess them up. But instead of having to collect a large number of science cards, you only have to collect 2 matching ones to essentially get a science token, which gives you specific bonuses. So it's definitely a little easier to go with that. So so that's my pitch for Duel as a fun game. And games are always good, I find, around the holidays to have, because you can, if you're with your family and you're wondering about what to do, you can always pull out a game. So Rhonda's game suggestions are for these mini storage containers for game pieces. They're little tiny plastic screw-on top lids containers. A set of 10 of them. They look really cool. I don't know if anybody's run into these problems with games pieces, having a mind of their own.
My wife does not allow that.
No?
My wife has her own stash of various size tiny little Ziploc bags for tokens and bits and books from games.
Yeah, we have most of ours in Ziploc bags, those little, especially the little snack size Ziplocs, the little tiny ones. We have almost everything in those. And then she has a dice bag here too, which is really cool, which I'll put on there. So dice bags and storage containers for gaming, always sort of practical choices for your favorite gamer. All right, who do I want to pick on? Isabella, what's your gaming?
Last night for my birthday, my friends took me to Guardian Games, and we picked up this RPG game that we plan to start pretty soon called Mouse Guard. Cool. It kind of looks like, if you know the art of Redwall, the book series, it's like you're basically little mouse warriors, and you fight different animals and stuff. But it's really cool, and it looks really family friendly and
neat. That looks like fun.
The art is absolutely adorable, because we were looking for something that we can play more often than our ongoing Star Wars RPG game. So it looks really cool, and I'm really excited to check it out. Yeah. I haven't gotten a chance to play.
You should check out Mice and Mystics. I played that last weekend, and it's kind of a similar theme where you play as a mouse and mouse warrior. I was the wizard or something like that, but yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask if it was by the same company. It's Plaid Hat Games that makes Mice and Mystics. Is it the same one for the game that you got?
I don't think so.
No, it says David Peterson. It's the copyright.
Oh, okay.
It just says David Peterson's Mouse Guard. I don't see.
What did you think of Mice and Mystics?
I liked it. It was fun. I like the story aspect of it. Like many cooperative games, I get kind of disengaged.
Passenger seat and let the strategist drive. Yeah.
I had that same experience with it, where I didn't feel as engaged in it as I feel in other cooperative games that we've been playing recently. So, but I loved the story, and I loved the character aspect of it, and I love that you're playing through chapters of a longer story as you're playing it. I think that's really cool.
That seems to be how Mouse Guard is set up, because it's
where you have actual chapters. Yeah. And I really like that aspect. I like the continuation where you start it and then you kind of continue the story. But at the same time, like I said, I didn't have the same level of engagement. I feel even in like the full game of Pandemic, or we've been playing Pandemic: The Cure with the dice version of Pandemic, which I absolutely love, and I'm always engaged in playing in that one. So that's really a bonus for me with style of cooperative game. So I guess you're not surprised. Have you played it, Mark?
No, I think I got it for Christmas last year from Het, and we just have never gotten around to playing it yet. She actually got the original game, and I think there was some sort of expansion pack that she got me as well. So I was just curious how you liked it. And sorry to step all over Isabella's.
Oh, you're fine.
It relates, kind of.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. What do you have, Julie, for games?
Well, I don't have a game in particular, but because it's a holiday gift-giving episode, I have the general idea for the general cards. So, and as you know...
I'm laughing because I just looked at what it was. So.
So I love this because you could, I mean, it's, just, you can get them any place where, they put photos on things. And basically you're just making a card deck where the backside is a photo.
Grab it. I thought I could grab them.
Right now, for example, Walgreens has all of their photo items half off, so it's like $12 for a deck of cards or something, and you may be able to get them cheaper somewhere else. I don't know. That's just what I came across today for an example. But Regina, I did this a few years ago when Regina, I think it was for finishing your dissertation.
That's when I did.
So
I have them somewhere. They're nearby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find them. I'll be right back.
The podcast is not being driven. Oh, no.
So she had in their apartment, when you walked in, stuck on the wall, this photo that she loved of her meeting Will Wheaton at a con, and she had told him that she had mentioned him in her dissertation, and so he had written this. Grabbed a napkin or something, or a piece of paper or something, and he wrote
a note card.
Yeah, it was like said Blue Star of Awesome, and so it's a picture of she and Will together, and he's holding this up, and she had it there, and so one day I was sneaky when Jada wasn't there, and I messaged Chris to go, can you go get that photo off the wall and scan it for me and email it to me. And so I had that made into some decks of cards for her as a gift, because she loved that commemoration. So
they're awesome. I wish I just rearranged everything on my shelves in my office, and I'm not sure where they're at. I know they're up there somewhere. I still have them. I don't think we've ever actually played a game with them, but he gave me 2 decks. With the Will Wheaton picture, which is also on my wall here too. So
yeah, I mean, and I had some made like with my dad. I mean, you could do. I mean, I was thinking too. You guys are talking about these massive Lego projects you do. That'd be a fun thing to do, to take a picture of that and have it made into cards or something.
Or anybody's collection of anything that you keep, like Heather's dolls or whatever. That would be a good thing to put on the cards too.
Yeah, a book cover of a book you've written.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, a cover of a book you've written. I wonder who that would be appropriate for.
Well, at least 2/5 of this gathering.
So it's just a simple, easy. It's one of those gifts that everybody's thought of a photo thing, but for gamers, it's a fun thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Evan, what do you have for gaming?
I have this one game that I found on the internet that was really fun. It's called Super Fight, and it's a card game. It's like a party kind of card game where you get like these cards that have different attributes on them, and like you have like one card that has like an attribute on it, and another one that's like a noun, and like maybe your noun is like a gorilla, and the other one has X-ray vision or something like that. And you have like 4 cards, and you play 2 of them, and that's your superhero. And like if you play those 2 cards, then your superhero is a gorilla with X-ray vision, and then your opponent has the same kind of thing, and they play maybe a ballerina who has like flame powers, and then you each draw 1 other card that has the potential to either be an extra power or a weakness, and then you have to play that onto them. So maybe you end up with like a gorilla who has X-ray vision but also has irritable bowel syndrome or something like that. And like the opponent does the same thing, and then you have to argue who would win in a fight between the 2 of them. And it can lead to some really interesting kind of matchups between your different players, and it usually just ends in anarchy very quickly.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a game that plays on the culture of nerds arguing about who would beat who, like Wolverine versus Superman or something like that.
Yes, and there are those
very much
cards
like
in there
something
too.
we'd see on Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
I
think I actually
like Super Fight too.
And there's like expansion packs that have like different kinds of cards that you can get that are themed. So it's a lot of fun.
It sounds like
I know there's a Walking Dead expansion. Last
I
time I
believe
played,
it.
my friend had that one, but we didn't use it because not everyone knew about The Walking Dead, which made it kind of confusing. But it's fun. It's Cards Against Humanity, like.
Yeah.
but with characters and stories instead of just disturbing things to laugh at and then feel bad about afterward.
It's generally a lot more
there's definitely
family
that
friendly.
Yeah, it sounds like
there is
it.
like a red deck that you can add that makes it. It's like a mischief pack, which has like horrible things, just like Cards Against Humanity.
It sounds a little like Smash Up to me too, with the or you take Smash Up, you take 2 separate decks and then mash them together and then play them. So like robot fairies or pirate or pirate aliens or pirate zombies, or there's all kinds of different combinations that you can play for that. So yeah, that's very cool. I like the storytelling aspect, but I usually do. All right, Mark, what do you have for gaming?
It's called Dice Masters. It's kind of like in the vein of Magic the Gathering, and it's kind of a deck game, but they call it a dice building game because you basically get some cards kind of like you do in Magic, but the cards basically just tell you what your dice do. And you basically need to have basically 8 different characters, and they can have anywhere between 1 and 4 dice on each one of them, as long as the total amount of dice on those characters doesn't exceed 20. And you basically just kind of cycle through your dice over and over again. It's kind of got a Yahtzee feel to it too, because you roll at least 4 dice every turn, and if you don't like the roll, you can re-roll any number of them. And it's got a kind of a combat feel to it, like Magic does, where you have like in my case, I play with the Marvel sets, so it's Marvel Avengers and X-Men and stuff like that, and they have an attack value and a defense value. So basically, when they go after one another, when you attack somebody, they throw their whatever in front of you, and you do
right.
the thing. Cool. But it's really cool because they have a bunch of different IPs for it. So they have Dungeons and Dragons Faerun, Battle of Faerun or something like that is one of the sets. They just came out with the Ninja Turtles set. I saw online. They have DC heroes. They have Yu-Gi-Oh.
There's Deadpool, it looks like, and
and you can actually mix and mash those all together into one, deck, for lack of a better term, if you wanted to.
Right.
I don't tend to do that. I like to play with a theme, so. But it's a really fun game, and if you get like a starter set for somebody, it's usually about $20, and it comes with enough stuff for 2 people to play a starter game, or enough for one person to get a good start on their collection. And they also sell them in boosters like Magic did, but I think I like how they do their boosters because they're 2 cards and 2 dice for $1. So I think it's a really good price point for kids to, if they get into it, to be able to stop by their gaming shop or whatever on the way home from school or something, buy a booster or 2 or something like that.
Yeah, just to kind of keep it going and keep the interest in it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very cool. It looks like fun.
It's a very fun game.
Nice. Excellent. Well, I think is that everybody? Did everybody go on that one?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Did anybody have anything that they came across that didn't fit into a consulate that you thought you wanted to share?
No.
No.
Oh, that's good. I have a phone game recommendation to make because that's primarily what I play these days, much to the chagrin of most of my friends who I game with.
Yeah. I remember when you used to game.
You remember when I used to game? I did used to game. Plants vs. Zombies Heroes.
I should have known.
You should have known. Yes, you should have known. It is a Magic-like game for, but using the Plants vs. Zombies characters as cards and heroes, and it's fun. It's addictive. I want to blame my friend Amy for getting me started on it. I love some of the artwork that they did for it was absolutely adorable. The modifications they've made to some of the characters are just really cute. So here's one of the, so that's one of the zombie bad guys that you play. He's based on the,
there you go.
Okay. I was trying to get it in focus. I was more worried about trying to get it in focus. So this is like the hero, the plant hero up on top here. So he's based on the potatoes that you planted that explode. Mm-hmm. And so there's a whole character based on that, a whole deck of cards to play based on that. And this is the disco zombie bad guy that you play as. And you can see you've got different zombies you play, and you just kind of play against each other. It's pretty fun. And I would recommend it. It is free to play, with the caveat, of course, that you're going to turn around and find out that, they want money from me for cards and things. Cool. Well, thank you guys for your recommendations today. Thanks to our listener. Thanks to Jimmy for watching and listening live with us. So always nice when we have somebody who's actually watching. If you are watching or listening, I'll have an article up this week with links to all of the recommendations and some pictures for you guys of the recommendations that we made on today's show. As always, make sure to follow us on Twitter, follow our Facebook page, and go to our website, thegeekembassy.com. And if we missed your favorite gift recommendation for your favorite geeky friends, please let us know. I would love to hear recommendations from anybody else about gifts to potentially give to your the geeky people in your life. All right. Well, thanks. And we'll be back on New Year's Day. It's going to be our next hangout. It's going to be on New Year's Day. We're going to do what we're thankful for 2016 for. So I'm giving all y'all here notice that you might want to start working on that list now.
What's our policy about showing up to hangouts hungover? Is there a policy?
Well, we did New Year's Day last year, and speaking from experience, I was definitely feeling a little pain myself after having had some really nice wine with my friends. So you can show up hungover, or if you want to embrace the hair of the dog.
All right, let's get those mojitos and.
I'm very comfortable with people bring their own holiday themed cocktails for the New Year's Day hangout. So look for us then. We'll be live again on January 1st around the same time, 2 p.m. Pacific. All right, thanks for listening. Until next time, get your geek on. Bye.
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 Bye.